It is Friday, September 2nd, 2022, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No excuses, just free picks. We just keep showing up. Got plenty of excuses to take days off, but never seems to work out that way. We always seem to squeeze in a show. We've done them, even when we couldn't do them, we do them. It's like, couldn't do the show today, but we still squeeze it in, whatever. That's rare. Normally we're right around this time. 10 o'clock Eastern time or 5 to 10 minutes late. But, Chris, Thursday night in the books, I think we both were on the game that we liked the most, the games that we liked the most. We were kind of on that with Central Mich against Oklahoma State. And it kind of played out like we thought it would play out. I think Spencer Sanders was a little better than we thought he would be. He completed a few more passes. But when it came to the defense and it came to crunch time and having to keep the ball away from Central Mich, they couldn't do it, And I think, probably the writing on the wall there, for the Cowboys, maybe for later on in the season as well in that game. Anything else? Anything catch you by surprise yesterday? Anything just blindside you?
Well, not only like in that Oklahoma State game, everybody's got to remember, if you didn't watch it, it was a 51-15 game at one point, and Central Mich just took advantage of Oklahoma State's porous defense at the time. It almost looked like they actually may have completed the comeback. But the other thing for me, I kind of messaged you about it last night. I almost thought Bryant was going to pull it off against FIU. That was a game that I loved, and I was like, oh man, I should have put it in, but it just fell short. But again, FIU looking dicey. But just looking across the rest of the scoreboard, it was almost business as usual. I was a little bit impressed with how Missouri showed up to take it to La Tech. I will have to see if that was more about La Tech just really not showing up to play defensively, or if Missouri's going to be a legit offense under Drinkwitz this season.
I think that Missouri with the freshman, number 3, I don't even know his name, but I didn't watch the game with sound. I had that one in the upper right. Loved that game. That was one of my premium picks. And, as soon as I saw him on the field, I said to Romanelli, I said, they should just give this ball to number 3 every single play. And they're probably going to win. And he just looked that good. And I think Drinkwitz, the recruiting classes, along with the transfers, maybe starting to take some shape there in Missouri. I think this is a team that's going to get better. We saw some gaffes defensively from Missouri. I think they just need to clean those up. We saw La Tech score a couple big touchdowns, quick ones. And I think if Missouri can clean that up, they might be dangerous as the season goes on, because they certainly have the offensive firepower. I didn't think their quarterback was all that great that he's built up to be. I thought the backup was really good, though.
Yeah, and like you said, they have to tighten up the defense, especially when you're going to get into the rigors of SEC play and some of the way some of these SEC offenses are looking this season. Yeah, Missouri's going to have to definitely tighten that up.
I thought Minnesota looked super efficient. As well against New Mexico State. Kind of, really not making any mistakes. And I thought that was really the big part of it. But, we have a lot going on today and a lot, of course, going on this weekend. If you didn't get a chance to see it, Chris and I did do the college football show yesterday, and we're going to do it every single week. I believe, personally, it was the best college football show we've ever had for Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We covered every single FBS game on the show. We had to go about it quickly because the time that we started was 50 minutes before the drive-thru starts. So we had to squeeze in an entire schedule in that time. We were able to do it, but I think we could do it a little bit better. And then starting next week, Ron Romanelli will be joining us. So it'll be the 3 of us doing the show. It'll be Chris, Ron Romanelli, and myself doing the college football previews, because Ron won't be able to do a rundown for the college football, at least not for the foreseeable future. Maybe we can talk him into doing one, but he won't be doing it. But so he'll be doing the live show with us, and then that show will likely be on Wednesdays. We just need to find out what time on Wednesdays. This Wednesday I'm traveling, so it's like we're gonna have to figure it out a more firm, a time, and then after that we'll be able to pretty much set it in stone. Set it and forget it, as Popeil says.
Long live Ron Popeil.
Yes. Life, according to Popeil.
And Chef Tony's knives.
Chef Tony. What a chef.
I can slice this
It's like
boot.
Wolfgang Puck, Bobby Flay, Chef Tony. It's like
can use this knife to cut a boot and then use it to fillet a tomato.
Look how easy it slices.
I can even fillet the fillet.
Oh man. Oh man. Speaking of filleting, man, that Purdue defense probably having a tough morning today. Got filleted in the last minute there by Penn State. Really no excuse for that. What they did. I think Purdue, they didn't get the call on the catch, which would have cemented the game. I think it was a judgment call and ruled catch on the field, personally. And then the other one, Pitt against West Virginia, Slovis, the numbers do not show the game. A lot of those passing yards were dump offs to the running back. And his big pass plays were dump offs to the running back. They weren't like downfield passes or anything. It was like basically, the USC offense dumping it to Reggie Bush in space. That's basically what they did. But you got to give them the credit. They did what they needed to do, and they got the win. Both those teams, Penn State and Pitt. And I like Narduzzi's comments after the game. Hopefully you guys were watching ESPN after that game when he was on with what's the guy's name? I don't even watch enough ESPN outside of games to know. It just happened to leave it on. The bald guy, it's funny. Tall, skinny, bald guy.
Van Pelt? No.
Yes. So he said to him, what do you think of, all this stuff? And he comes on Narduzzi. He's like, you guys disrespected us. ESPN said that 75% of the stadium would be West Virginia fans. You're so disrespectful to our fans. And we showed you. He goes, it was all Pitt out there. It was all Pitt in the stands. It's like, he goes, you said it was going to be 75% West Virginia fans. And Van Pelt's like, well, I don't make those statements or whatever. And he's like, ESPN did. You're part of ESPN. It was like, it was kind of like what I would do, right? It was like this. It's like he was fired up.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing I noticed in that Purdue Penn State game, there were a lot of questionable, missed calls from officiating. But I guess that's week one stuff you got to iron out. Even stuff I saw like in the Oklahoma State game where they called an interception on the field. It was a free play because Central Miss jumped offside. So they called the penalty, but then they said they still have to review if the play was an interception.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I thought it was an interception.
It was.
I didn't listen. Once again, no sound, so it makes it. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but it was like I knew it was 1st and 5 after the review and everything. But anyways, let's get it. Let's dive into these games today. We've got a pretty good card. We've got not a lot of college football games. I don't know who's in charge of the schedule at Pick Dogs for the videos, for the video section there, but they botched this one because we did not do Virginia Tech Old Dominion. I don't know how that got skipped, but we'll cover it here. Anyways, got Michigan versus Michigan State versus Western Michigan. This one down to 20.5 from 21. I saw it up as low as 18.5 at the open. Chris, what do you think of this one?
I went back and forth on this one, but that spread at 20.5 almost seems right on for me because I can see it's being a three touchdown win for Michigan State, or I could also see a 20-point win. So I think I'd rather look at the under in this one. I just think that Western Michigan, and we talked about it yesterday. They're starting a quarterback who's made 5 career pass attempts, and Michigan State's still got a solid defense. It is going to take some time to get the new pieces sort of accustomed and acclimated to the system at Michigan State, but I think this is still just going to be a low-scoring game. I could see it being 27-6 Michigan State. They win this kind of game. So give me the under 54.5, 53.5 in this one.
I'm going to go with Michigan State in this one. I'm going to lay the points. I don't have a premium or anything in this. I just know that these MAC teams generally do not hold up in these games like this. We saw Central Mich hold up, but they're a different animal to me than Western Mich. And I think maybe later in the season, Western Mich might have a better chance of holding up, but not here. So I'm going to go with Michigan State at home. Mel Tucker just doing a great job there. I always have sympathy because, like, my name Mitch, right? So everyone calls me, so people that, the trolls or whatever, like Mitch the bitch. Like, I've never heard that before or something. It's like, I can only imagine what Mel Tucker gets, It's quite a few ways to go with that. More than quite a few.
When Homer's trying to think of a baby name for Bart, he's going down the alphabet of words that rhyme with cart, dart, yart, Gart, and completely skips Bart altogether.
Yeah, Mel Tucker. Not the best name for a public figure.
Yeah,
but
you mother Tucker.
Yes. Don't be a sucker, Tucker. It's like Paul Simon's 50 Ways to Lose Your Lover. It's like, don't be a bitch, Mitch. Don't be a sucker, Tucker. Don't be. I like Michigan State here. I just think they're too much. I think they're going to wear them down. I think that's what we've kind of seen in some of these big guys versus little guys games is the wear down factor. And it's the depth, So I don't love this one. Like I said, no premium pick for me on this thing. No no freemium, no nothing like that. This is going to be just, give me a pick. So Old Dominion, Virginia Tech, this line is dropping. And, this is as Chris said on the show yesterday on the college football show, this is a local rivalry game where one of the rivals cares more than the other. And I think that might be the case. Of course, Virginia Tech, a lot of kind of rebuilding that needs to go on there. It was interesting because Frank Beamer and Bud Foster could win in Blacksburg. But when you look at Blacksburg, as opposed to, I don't know, South Beach or Southern California or, even Northern California, Stanford or something, or you look at, the big college towns like Columbus, Ohio, and you put those, or Tuscaloosa, you put that up against Blacksburg. This is a tough sell. Even in the conference, it's a tough sell. With Frank Beamer and Bud Foster, you could get your guys in there, and these guys were good enough coaches that they could win with that. But what we saw with Justin Fuente was that you could get a decent coach isn't going to do it. You need to be a great. I mean, this just showed you how great of a coach Frank Beamer and Bud Foster were. I mean, is what Virginia Tech's done since. And here they are against ODU, who my guess is treating this one like the Super Bowl. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think Old Dominion is treating this like their Super Bowl. And, the thing about Old Dominion is that they returned 17 of their 22 starters from last season.
So it really isn't Old Dominion. There's not a new Dominion going on here.
No, it's Old Dominion. It's classic Dominion. But I
the
think
best Dominion is the classic Dominion. We all know that.
Dominion Light.
It's like you ever go somewhere and like you've never eaten there before and you're like, oh, this is awesome. This is like really good. Oh, you should have tried it before. It's like someone says that to you. It's like,
how have you not had this?
It's like, you jerk.
Yeah, no, I just think that, like you said, this game means a lot more to Old Dominion than it does Virginia Tech. And I think, Old Dominion, they already beat, I mean, not these players, obviously, but Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech last time they went to Norfolk. So they know it can be done. And like you said, I think Virginia Tech just sort of has bigger fish to fry. They're focused on competing in the ACC this season. And Old Dominion, this game means a ton of them. Stick it to an in-state power conference rival. I like the points with Old Dominion, so I'm going to put a little bit on the money line as well.
All right. I kind of like ODU as well. I think I'm with you on the money line as well for that thing. We've got Duke taking on Temple. These are two of the worst teams out there. I mean, absolutely horrible. But I'm once again, no premium pick on this for me. But I like Temple on the money line here. You could get the points with 9.5, but it's like, who in the hell wants to lay 2 scores with Duke? Temple. I mean, they can't be any worse than Duke. I mean, these are two bad teams, and getting plus 270. Duke riding that 8-game losing streak coming into here, so they've got the momentum to get us over the hump here at that kind of plus money. Yeah, we could parlay it up with Dallas Keuchel under strikeouts. I'm with you on that one, Raven Ron.
Oh man, yeah, I think this is going to be a slop fest. I think this is good. You're going to be lucky to see this game hit 30 points. To see a total still hanging around 50 is it's still mind blowing to me. I'm with you. I like the value of Temple and the points, but I think my stronger play in this one, the under.
Yeah, when I look at games like this, and I know it's not a place where a lot of people look. When they're looking at the grand total of a game like this, or the grand, the whole big thing, but I go right to the kicker, and I just say, how good are these kickers? Because Duke's kicker is actually pretty good, so they're going to probably attempt some longer field goals in this game, so it's like that could be hit or miss depending on how things are at Duke tonight in Durham. You ever been to Durham? Beautiful.
I have not.
Great golf course. Great golf course. Oh my God, so tough. Anyways, really, really nice place. I'm not. Everyone knows I'm not big on the Southeast. The ain't you something. We know what that means. That's not complimentary. Ain't you something? As a matter of fact, I am. I'm gonna take Temple. Taking him on the money line. Proudly take Temple on the money line. Oh, Indiana's favored against Illinois. This line's dropped like a bad habit, kind of falling out of the sky. Tom Allen's still coaching. I think if he didn't have the success that he had the prior couple seasons going into last season, he would have been so fired. Because you get 2 wins. All right, that's bad enough. But you get rung up in the bucket game, in your rivalry game, 44-7 by Purdue. That's like grounds for. That's like so. Manny Diaz, like at Miami, like he was able to hang on because he beat Florida State, and then once he lost to Florida State, it was pretty much finito. But congratulations to Manny for on the defensive job that he did in the clutch there for Penn State. But I don't know. Indiana was favored in this thing. The line has dropped. Illinois looked pretty decent last week, and they kind of have some veteran guys there that, having a game under their belt with a veteran team facing, Tom Allen, who can coach even a good team right out of a game. Some of the more questionable usages of timeouts and things of that nature that Tom Allen does on a regular basis in Indiana that have really, the Indiana fans and I know we don't get along. Well, I know it. I understand that. And it's like part of it is this and part of it's the whole hoops thing, like the used to be good thing. I get it, but I don't know. Do they have any answers here for me with Tom Allen? Because last year they defended this guy down into submission because the prior 2 years he had kind of, kind of got the better of me. And then last year I kind of got even for all of it. But yeah, I could see another 2-win season here. Chris, what do you think?
Well, it's like they always say, just when you think that, or at least Roddy Piper said, when you think you have the answers, they change the questions. And I think that's what's going to go on here with Indiana. The answers are going to still be the same. And I think, Indiana won't have the correct answers to solve anything this season. I think Illinois, they've already got the win under their belt this season. The defense looked really good against Wyoming. And, Tommy DeVito actually looked capable, like he could run this Illinois offense.
Don't get carried away, Chris.
Okay, after one game, I can at least say it for right now.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Okay, can we at least carry it into Indiana? Like give me one game with this. But
the secret with Tommy DeVito is they just, when he's got the urge to throw, they don't let him. They just make him hand off, regardless of what the down and distance is. They just say, you can see the frustration in his face handing that ball off.
Come on. He hands it off and throws a temper tantrum behind the plate, like starts stomping like 5 yards back. But no, I think Illinois, they got a great running back in Chase Brown. And like I said, I just think that the wrong team is favored here. So give me Illinois on the money line here.
Anyways, Fernando Montoya. The only game I lost yesterday was Purdue. Well, that helps us a ton today. That helps us. Just a real bundle. Actually, the only game I lost yesterday was Purdue also. How about you, Chris?
Yep, me too.
The only game that Chris lost was Purdue also. So I hit my $15 big play. How about you? You got your $15 play? Yep. Yeah. I was 3-1 yesterday. My only loss was Purdue. I thought I had it. I had Central Mich, and my play of the day, my college football solo shot was Mizzou. So, a no doubter. But we gave out our picks before the games. That's the difference. Anyways, CU. Can't spell the C word without CU up against TCU. So we got double CUs here going on. This, this show is Friday. It's kind of, we're at that point. We're at that stage of the week, and, we've been waiting for college football long enough. It's kind of like we're so hyped for college football that it's kind of like we're punch drunk, But, yeah. I don't know where I was going to go with that, but it wasn't good. It wasn't gonna end well, that's for sure. I don't know. Colorado. You ever been to a Colorado game? You say Cala, we say Rada. Colorado.
I can honestly say I have not. But
well, what they do is they let this buffalo go. He's about 10,000 pounds. They got about 6 guys in a tranquilizer gun running him down the field. They hold on to him with a rope, but trust me, if he felt like it, he'd drag them all. But they do have the tranquilizer gun close by. Colorado.
Oh man, I looked at this game. I think this was still one of my least favorite games on today's card for college football. But still gonna stick with my guns. I think with Colorado, I think it's still just gonna be an adjustment period for TCU, and we know Sonny Dykes will have this TCU offense, firing in no time. But I think for right now, 2 touchdowns with a home dog in Colorado, and the altitude's kind of where I want to be. So I'll lean towards Colorado in this one.
To me, TCU has always seemed to have a really good team and always seemed to have the edge. And Patterson, while, the transfer portal changes things, I don't think he's left the cupboard bare there at TCU either. So I think they have enough talent. And I think, with this offense, I don't know if Colorado's going to have the answers. And, I think that's the problem. I think Colorado's going to hang with them, but I just don't know if they have the answers over 4 quarters of football. Anyways, we go to Major League Baseball, and what do you got for premium today?
Well, today I got a couple things. I got my $15 pickoff play. Like we said, we hit it yesterday. 3 straight and now 5 of 6. So hopefully you carry that over into the weekend.
What was your pickoff?
Yesterday was the Mariners.
Seattle Mariners.
The early game, and
that's the Seattle Mariners, in case anyone was wondering.
Got in, got out with a quick payday, and like I said, hoping to do that again today. I also got that $15 play as part of my Fastball Friday MLB 3-pack for $40, or also have a college football 3-pack as well for tonight's action. And hop on something long term, because we're going to have those college football for tomorrow in as well, sooner rather than later. So take advantage of it and use that promo code WIN15 for 15% off. I
have my $15 big play. I got a college football 3-pack. I'm going to take one of those picks and make it a college football solo shot as well. And I think I'm going to allow the cappers and also that one $15 play per sport. Instead of one $15 play per day, one $15 play per sport, we're going to go with. So I'll let everybody know as they find out. And then I also have other baseball plays too. I have 3 more baseball plays on top of my $15 big play. I had a winner yesterday. I had the Mets against the Dodgers. Not an early start, but not a late start. It was plus money, plus $1.25 on that thing with Chris Bassett. Did you happen to catch that Mets game?
I didn't know.
Well, one of the couple more amazing things you'll see, and this is the Mets. So Diaz gives up a hit, and I mean this thing, the wind gusts in right as the ball is leaving the park, and the outfielder is basically up against the wall, and it hits him in the glove to rob him of the home run. Then the next batter up, 2 strikes. He throws a 100-mile-an-hour heater, paints the corner. They call it a ball. he's like fuming, right? That he's got a 1-2 count on him. He rears back and throws 103 straight down the middle of the plate, just a screamer. And you see the thing, it says 103. It was like, you got no chance. And I mean, it was right down the middle, you know? It was 103 mile an hour fastball, right down the middle. It was like smoke. And it was like, by the time the batter even thought about swinging, you know, by the time the batter even thinks about swinging, the ball's past him, you know, at 103. But that was craziness. But anyways, we go to Major League Baseball today. And in game 1, we've got... So we've been doing this format now for about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good, right?
I think
people are liking it. We got Pittsburgh Pirates against the Toronto Blue Jays. Everyone knows my thoughts on Alek Manoah. He's basically, I just think he's too fat. I mean, I'm not gonna point fingers, assign blame. I'm not gonna make fun of him personally. I'm just gonna say he's too fat and he's losing. He doesn't have the longevity to go through the course of a 162-game season with that sort of gut. I'm taking the Pirates here to beat Manoah. How about you, Chris?
I'm sticking with the Blue Jays in this one. Where we'll butt heads. Maybe we'll do the Manoah belly bump on this one. But
he's too fat.
I agree. He's got to drop a few, but it's like I said before. It's also the first year we're seeing Manoah as a.
Maybe we should send you over there to have a talk with him.
No, because then we'll both end up bigger.
Be like, Mom, where's the meatloaf?
Ma,
where's that meatloaf?
Could you even hear me? Like,
what you doing back there?
Oh man, I know. For me, it's just I know the Pirates, can provide value, but they've been struggling offensively. You look at their last 9 games, scored 4 runs or less in 7 of those 9 games, 2 runs or less in 5 of those 7. So I think if Manoah can hold the Pirates in check, the Blue Jays bats come to play here, and I think Toronto gets a win on the run line.
Reds Rockies, Luis Cessa and Kyle Freeland. The Rockies played hard in Atlanta. Spencer Strider, 16 strikeouts against him yesterday, but they did play hard in that series. You got to give them credit where credit is due. And the Reds, after that, start that they had to the season, they're only 27 games under 500. So really almost 500 baseball since, the first month of the season. So not bad, but it is Luis Cessa here and Kyle Freeland. This is a good game too. Pretend it didn't happen. But I think if you are going to actually admit that it's going to occur, to me, I think you say, if you happen to be going to the park for this game, you're going to want to bring a glove and you're going to want to make sure you bring some comfortable clothes and something to sit on because you're going to be there for a while. I like the over. What do you think?
And lots of hot dog money for the vendors. But I agree. I like the over here. I would lean towards Cincinnati, mainly just because Kyle Freeland struggled on the road as it is. And now you're putting him in a hitter's ballpark, like Great American. I think the Reds could potentially sneak out a win here, but I'm with you. I think the over's the better play in this one.
We got the Baltimore Orioles against the Oakland A's, and the Orioles just can't seem to get past the hump here, to get into the wild card race. It's a good season for them any way you slice it. They've had a solid year. I don't think they're going to make the postseason at this point. They're not out of it. They're running out of time, but they're not insurmountable. But they just can't seem to gain any traction on any of those teams ahead of them, regardless of their winning or losing. Dean Kramer here against J.P. Sears. Kramer, is the one holdover from the Manny Machado trade to the Dodgers. He's kind of the last piece that they have left of that. That they traded Manny Machado to the Dodgers, and Kramer was one of those guys that they got. I don't know. I think he's not bad. I think he's part of the long-term solution. I think with John Means back there, maybe another starter, maybe Bundy comes home. I don't know, but I'll take the Orioles in this one. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Orioles as well, but I'm also on the under in this one. I still can't get away from the fact the Oakland A's still one of the worst offenses in baseball, and Baltimore has been playing their fair share of low-scoring games as well, but they also tend to play their best ball at Camden Yards. And if they're gonna make a serious playoff push in the coming weeks, it's got to start with winnable spots like this. I know JP Sears has been pretty good, but I still think Baltimore's just a better team here. So I go with Baltimore and also go with the under as well.
Yeah, the Orioles are a game and a half out of the wild card, but the thing is that they've been that game and a half, 2 games out of the wild card for a month. They just can't seem to gain any ground. They're not losing ground, but they're not gaining ground. So it's like, because the teams in front of them are rotating the order, but the Orioles aren't gaining on any of them. So it's just, it just seems that they're stuck in the mud. Stuck in the mud. They'll stick in the mud. You got the Guardians up against the Seattle Mariners. Luis Castillo, he's gone to the land of the overbet. He is the Michael Pineda of this season, since being traded to Seattle. They just love to bet this guy. I mean, even if he should be favored, it's usually you're paying 30 to 40 cents premium on him. He had a couple of good starts, but it's still, he's still Luis Castillo, and you're up against a playoff team here with the Guardians, even though they do have the lesser record overall of these two teams. Chris, we know Bitler is a big Castillo guy. I think he only likes him when he was with a bad team.
So. Yeah, maybe. Is it Castillo or Castillo?
It's Castillo. But he calls him Castillo. Abbott and Castillo.
Oh, can I please get a tortilla? For this one.
Don't make me go back to the Mel Tucker jokes. Don't make me go. Please don't make me go back there.
I'll stop. Okay, that's enough. I'll stop. I was initially leaning towards Seattle because I think that, like you said, there is a premium that you normally pay with Luis Castillo on the Mariners. But, looking at it, Zach Plesac hasn't been terrible. He just doesn't have a good record on the surface. And, yeah, you're getting plus money at home with a playoff team in Cleveland. Problem for me is that their offense has been spotty. So I'll lean towards Cleveland based on the value, but not a game I'm rushing to the window to bet.
I like the under in this one, the under 10-1 in the Guardians' last 11. So that means they're playing them close to the vest. Not that anyone's wearing a vest for this one. We've got Drew Hutchison's got a day job with the Detroit Tigers facing the Kansas City Royals. These teams should play each other every game. They should just play each other all the time because it feels like they play each other 135 times a year. So I think they should just play each other. It's kind of like the Chargers and the Broncos. They should just play each other all the time. It's like the Chargers always play the Broncos, and it's always at Denver. I mean, what do you think, Chris?
Yeah, this was one of the tougher ones because
we've seen this matchup so many times this season. Are you sure they're playing each other again? Are you sure it's not the Tigers Twins? It's like, you just play each other every freaking day. It's like the Tigers are playing the Royals? How could they be playing the Royals and the Twins on the same day?
It's like that Spider-Man meme where they're facing each other. It's like, wait a minute, you again? No, I'm going to lean towards the Royals here. I don't want to give Drew Hutchison any of my money, and the Detroit Tigers still one of the worst offensive clubs in baseball this season. The Royals haven't been much better, and Daniel Lynch has had issues in his last couple of starts, but I still think he's the better starter here, and I just trust Kansas City just a little bit more than Detroit right now, so I'll lean towards Kansas City in the coin flip.
I'm going with Kansas City. Hutchinson actually pitched decently last time out. The probability of him doing it 2 times in a row, slim. I wonder if Miggy's going to come back. Doubt it. Probably done. Speaking of done, we got the Nationals taking on the Mets. The Nationals coming off of pretty good series there against the A's, but here they are against the Mets at Citi Field. Do the Mets have kind of a hangover effect after 4 games against the Dodgers? 2-2 that series went. What a great series it was. And I think the nice thing about that series was we got to see a lot of the frontline guys, and that was really a good thing. And I think for the Dodgers in that one, Trey Turner was kind of slumping, and then he kind of came through yesterday, and we saw everything. And then the Mets put Gore in yesterday. I mean, what a great gig that guy has. He's been in 4 World Series. He has no at bats. It's like they could have brought Jankowski back. It's like, nah, we'll take Gore. It's like the On a Boat song. It's like, and T-Pain.
I forgot about that.
Right? It's kind of like that with Gore, right? It's like, and Gore. He's so fast. He's so fast. I feel like my wife and I were eating, and the game's on, and so watch this guy. Just watch this. I'm like, they're gonna throw over to first base like for 10 minutes. That's what's gonna happen, and then he's gonna steal a base anyway. It's exactly what happened. But anyways, David Peterson here against Josiah Gray. What do you think of this one, Chris?
I'm going to still go back to the well with the Mets here. Last time we saw the Mets sort of in this potential letdown spot. After playing, they played the Phillies in a set, and they played the Yankees in a 2-game set. I mean, there would have been a bit of a hangover, but they came out and took care of the Rockies. And Josiah Gray, while he has pitched better on the road, this is still a night start for Josiah Gray, and those have not been profitable. So I think David Peterson comes out, throws another solid start, and then the Mets win this one on the run line. So give me the Mets -1.5.
The Mets are feeling it, and I think you got to give it to them. And I think that home crowd and just everything there, they're loose as a goose, I mean, these guys are feeling it. This is kind of like how they were in '86, in '69. This is like, this Mets team is super, super dangerous. And Francisco Lindor playing just lights out baseball here. Lights out, and Marte really picking up his game as well, especially at the plate. Mets are a very, very dangerous team. Got the Red Sox taking on the Rangers. What a defensive display last night at Fenway Park. The Rangers with a gigantic lead. Well, it couldn't hold on, and it was the 9-8 win for the Red Sox. And today, oh man, it's Dallas Keuchel Day. What do you think, Chris?
I think that this is crazy that this line has actually dropped a run from 10 to 9. Yeah, I'm on the overall day in this one, like white on rice. This is a Texas team that's clearly, out of options to throw into the rotation. You put in Dallas Keuchel, who's got an 11.70 ERA across his last 7 starts. I'm not a huge Nick Pivetta guy. He's got 4.12 ERA in his last 7. 5 runs allowed over 5 innings against the Rays last time out. So I think this one hits the over rather easily. Lean towards the Red Sox as well, but I'll go with the over as a stronger play here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the over as well. I just think we're gonna see an absolute ton of runs in this thing. Pivetta certainly not gonna hold anybody down, and at the same time, Dallas Keuchel certainly not the Keuchel of old. I love Jovan's video. He's like, he gets all excited in his parlay. It's like Dallas Keuchel Day. He's like, he can't even get the rest of the video because he just Keuchel. I don't do any of my own video editing. I only edit Jovan's videos, and it's like I watch his parlay every day. It's like Keuchel. He gets like this smile and like, Keuchel.
If ever Jovan's having a bad day, you just say Dallas Keuchel. You'll instantly put a smile on his face.
Romanelli's got the Keuchel jersey. Anyways, you got the Rays taking on the Yankees. Jeffrey Springs -120 here against the Yankees. And this is where we miss Brian Bitler the most. And where's Brian? This is where I say where's Brian, because we all we got to do is hear him say, they're begging you to take the Yankees. I'll say it for him. Chris, they're begging you to take the Yankees here. What do you think?
You know what? I'm still sticking with the Rays in this one. I know Domingo Germán has pitched well. He's been getting increasingly better after that rough start to start the year against the Astros. But the Yankees are still, playing some inconsistent ball right now. They're really struggling to string any sort of consistent performances together. And the Tampa Bay Rays, you want to talk about feeling it right now. The Rays are feeling it. They had won 8 of their last 10. And I think it's just a spot where the Rays get a competent start from Jeffrey Springs and eke out a win over the Yankees. So I'll go with the Rays in the near coin flip.
Yeah, I think, for me, the Rays, this is their time of year. Normally people think it's after the All-Star break, but it's really September when the Rays really roll. So I expect them to roll here. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays as well. We've got the Atlanta Braves and Charlie Morton minus 180 favorite here up against Sandy and the Marlins. Sandy just a different, breed of pitcher. And, the Marlins have this great young pitching staff. And, of course, Sandy's the guy, on that staff. And, you could say what you want about the Marlins and their lack of hitting, especially against left-handed pitching. It's been just terrible this season. But Sandy, 2.13 ERA, a 12-6 record. He kind of has the numbers. He's given up 10 home runs total. That's like that's less home runs than Mike Minor gives up in a month. These are the type of numbers that Sandy has that, like when King Felix won the Cy Young, right? These are like those type of numbers. So I think Sandy, I have to say in the National League, he's the Cy Young Award winner for me. And I think that he battles here as good as can possibly be. I think you take the first 5 under here. I kind of want to take the Marlins, but I think you could take the first 5 under or even Marlins first 5. I don't know. Call me crazy. It's all right.
No, I agree. I was actually looking at the full game under too at 6.5, just because you look at what Sandy's done this season against the Braves. He's got a complete game under his belt, and he's also thrown 8 innings of 1-run ball in Atlanta, and in his last 5 starts against the Braves, a .97 ERA. So the Braves aren't scaring Alcantara, but the problem is, like you mentioned, for Alcantara, just a lack of run support kind of does him in. When if he gets a little bit of run support, he's not a 12-6 pitcher. He's like a 15-3 pitcher.
Yeah, I people in the comments saying that the Marlins can't score runs or whatever. I like their chances of scoring runs off of Morton a lot better than the Braves' chances of scoring off of Sandy because he owns them. He absolutely has. He's got a parking spot there at Truist Park. It's like he's their daddy. He is.
Yeah, so I would go with the under here, but I wouldn't be opposed to anything you said. The Marlins first five under. I think that's all. They're all viable options in this game.
Got another non-viable option here. We've got the Chicago White Sox, who, without Tony La Russa, are winning baseball games. I think La Russa's managed his last game as a member of the White Sox. I think they're going to call it that for medical reasons. He's going to have to retire or something, but he would be fired anyway. Sonny Gray, the Twins have really owned the White Sox over the years. Davis Martin, I just don't think is a viable option. I think he's part of the problem here for the White Sox. I'm going to have to roll with the Minnesota Twins in this one. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Twins as well, mainly because, like you said, Davis Martin, he's pitched okay, but the majority of his usage has been in a starter's role. And as a starter, 1-4 with a 4.68 ERA. Sonny Gray's starting to turn it on the other hand, though, 1.91 ERA in his last 7. And the Twins, for me, have just sort of been the hotter team. The White Sox picked up a couple of wins against the Royals, but I think this is Minnesota's chance. They still have the Guardians within reaching distance, and this will be an important series for sure. But I think Minnesota starts with a win in this one.
Yeah, tomorrow's game, I think the Twins probably in a little bit of trouble, but today I think is their better chance. That this is kind of a must-win almost for the Twins in tonight's game because tomorrow they're probably, they're going to need some help from a higher power. We got the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Chicago Cubs, and this is the oldest rivalry in professional sports. This is the oldest rivalry. Jordan Montgomery on the hill here against Adrian Sampson. I just love fading the Cubs and Adrian Sampson. I certainly don't like these prices, but man, basically if the Russians were playing the Cubs, I'd probably take the Russians. Chris, what do you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Cardinals big here.
I'm with you. I got the Russians too.
I might have a dime on the Russians. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
can't confirm.
I mean, I don't mean anything political or anything by that. That's for sure. But it's like basically anything but the Cubs.
Yeah. Italian baseball team, I'll take them to the national team. The World Baseball Classic team from 4 years ago. But yeah, I'm with you. It's just about fading the Cubs here. And Adrian Sampson, he's been serviceable enough to stay in the rotation, but he's not a world beater. He's not going to slow down this Cardinals lineup. So yeah, I'm with the Cardinals.
I like them for the series sweep. We got the Angels against the Astros. Reed Detmers serving up for the Angels up against Lance McCullers Jr. The Angels haven't been that horrible recently. They went into Toronto last weekend, beat the crap out of the Blue Jays, including Manoah, and they said, after the game, I think he's just too fat right now. And the thing is that, the Astros just continue to be steady Eddie. It's like they're not doing anything spectacular, but they're also not doing anything really implodingly bad. And it's like, with McCullers Jr. back in there. And not having a pitcher that's 70 to 80 pounds overweight, I think they got the chance to get it across the finish line here. But Detmers has pitched well. I think this one's going to be an under, even though the total's gone up a full run.
Yeah, the under was where I was initially thinking as well. McCullers Jr. He's sort of pitching like he didn't really skip a beat. He's fit right back into the Astros rotation, and Reed Detmers is probably just behind Ohtani, and maybe alongside Sandoval is the Angels' best chances to get a win because he is pitching fairly well.
Yeah, he'll be back with the varsity next season.
Yeah,
he's like that type of guy.
Yeah, so I like the under 8.5 here. I liked it at 7.5, but I like it at 8.5 as well.
What do you think Manoah's post game meal is? Corned beef sandwich. He seems like maybe a corned beef sandwich, big kosher pickle type guy. It's like, don't forget the pickle.
I don't think it's probably not at the circuit because that's usually where they run out of the corned beef.
Yes.
But there's a sidebar story for that. But I don't know. He seems like a fettuccine Alfredo kind of guy, like a pasta guy.
Big plate of pasta with the napkin around
with the checkerboard napkin. It's
he's
not
got
even just a plain white.
He twirls into the spoon. He's got the spoon twirling the pasta into.
Okay, is there any other way to do it?
Well, we could ask him. We could ask him. Got the Diamondbacks taking on the Brewers. No surprise to me, Diamondbacks winning last night. Zach Davies here against Lauer. I kind of like the Diamondbacks again. They're playing good baseball, and the Brewers just seem to be a team this year. And while as good as they've been over the last decade, they can't seem to get over the hump this year. Kind of the same place where the Orioles are, where they're just treading water, and that's not good enough.
Yeah, you get close. Yeah, you get close, and then the lead is restored. Then you get close again, then the lead comes back. And it's tough. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, they're playing really well. They bounced back from that 18-2 shellacking against the Phillies. And I'm with you. I think they have a shot here as well. Zach Davies normally a 5-inning guy, but he's doing a good job at keeping the damage down in those 5 innings. And Eric Lauer is one of my more liked pitchers on this Brewers pitching staff, but I just think the Arizona Diamondbacks playing too well to ignore here. So, yeah, give me the Diamondbacks at home in the underdog role.
He says Ravens Ron says double quarter pounders, but in Canada they have the metric system. So do they have quarter pounders in Canada?
Yeah, we have double quarter pounders.
Really, they call it quarter pounders even though you're on the metric system?
Mm-hmm.
It's so American. It's got to be crappy.
Well, it's like the double 8 kilo doesn't sound the same. So it's it's like Pulp Fiction, Royale with cheese. You know what they call a quarter pounder of cheese? Royale with cheese. You know what they did? Metric system. Brett, look at you. the metric system. Look at you, Brett. Yeah, no, we still have quarter pounders. Yeah, that actually would kind of make sense.
The Dodgers return home all the way back west from 4 games at Citi Field. A real dogfight of a series, too. Dustin May on the mound here against Yu Darvish. Padres 7-3 in their last 10 coming into this thing. 38-31 on the road, but the Dodgers a tighty. 45-16 at Dodger Stadium. That's sick. 45-16. The Dodgers are 50 games over. They're 10 games away from a 100-win season, 130 games in. They have a chance to go 110 this year, at least. What do you think of this thing, Chris?
Yeah, this is tough because there does seem to be a little bit of value with the Padres and some plus money, but Darvish, has really struggled against the Dodgers in his last 5 starts against LA, 0-4 with a 4.18 ERA, and he said the Dodgers, they were in that dogfight in New York, but this is still the best team in baseball right now, and I think they just take it to the Padres, even though the Padres are playing pretty well. I think the Padres will take one in this series about picking the spot, but I think the Dodgers win the series opener on Friday.
Keith Hernandez, I watched the Mets broadcast of the Dodgers Mets yesterday. Keith Hernandez talking about Freddie Freeman in the crying episode in Atlanta and how Kershaw beat him up about it, and how Ronald Acuna Jr. beat him up on the Braves side about it. He kind of took it from both sides in that thing. And, but since then, Freddie Freeman's been really hitting the cover off the ball, and he's been a kind of a difference maker here for the Dodgers. I think Mookie Betts might be the National League MVP on top of it as well. And I think the Padres are just a bunch of phony balonies. And I think the Dodgers love beating up on teams like that. We've got the Giants taking on the Phillies. Speaking about phony balonies, we've got the Phillies. This game has kind of gone back and forth over who's going to be favored in this thing. And the way I look at it, it's a pick 'em. But for me, I like the Giants in this one because the Phillies have now been on the road for a while. And, I think the Phillies, you have to give them credit where credit is due. I've been very, very critical of the Phillies, over the years about the heartless, the gutless, all those different things that I've called them. And, they've proved me right, But this year, they, since the managerial firing, they have changed their ways and have become a different style of team. And I think that, I think in this case, they have shown heart. I just don't like the spot. I'm going to take the Giants here. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, this one was, I think, saved the toughest for last for me in this one. I think I was leaning towards the Phillies, but they, like you said, they've been on the road for a while. I'm probably going to lean towards the under in this one. I know the Phillies had that high-scoring game a series against Arizona. Probably that was just because they couldn't keep runs off the board, but I think the Giants have been struggling offensively, and I think if the Giants are going to win this one, it's going to be a low-scoring win. So I like the under 7.5, under 8 in this one.
Yeah, at Costco, not yesterday when I was there, but the time I was there before that, they told me, and I never even realized this. I was like, wow, that's a big bag of that. And they said, yeah, it's club size. So it was like, I didn't even know this thing existed. So Alec Manoah, this is the type of thing, this is the type of conversation I can imagine having with Costco with him. It's like, he's like, well, you got the snack size. Then you've got the regular. Then you've got the large, the jumbo, the family size, and then the club size. Right? It was like, oh my God, the club size. It's like, it's a big bag of chips. Darvish is a fraud. He's getting shelled, says Kevin Soler. Beard Laws. Morning, everyone. Here, let's put these up on the board. Chris, you going to do a parlay for everybody, or you're just going to hold out? What do you think? I'm holding out with the parlay today. I'm sorry. All right, you guys talked me into it.
I'm going to be a contract.
Let's do 4-teamers. Let's do 4-teamers. Why not? 4-team Friday. Let's do it.
Oh, Lord, you started something. All right. Give me the under in the Temple Duke game. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going to take... Oh, boy. I wasn't prepared for a 4-teamer. I'll take the...
But you can take some of these big favorites, in there if you want.
Nah. I'll take the under in Temple Duke. I'll take the Tampa Bay Rays. I'll take the Miami Marlins in the under in the first 5 against the Braves, and I'll take the Diamondbacks.
I'll take the Minnesota Twins. I'll take the St. Louis Cardinals. I'll take the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Mets is my 4-team Friday parlay. Dallas Keuchel to that parlay. There's just so many ways to go out. We could do an all Keuchel parlay. Same game, all Keuchel parlay. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. Chris and I are going to do the premium and VIP shows, separate shows today. And then, of course, tomorrow will be our Cappers Roundtable. If you're interested in all the college football games, Chris and I did a show. We went over every game on the board. We didn't really have a scheduled time for that, so we didn't, announce it as well as we could have or advertised. But if you look on the YouTube channel, it's there under live shows. And I think it's one of the best live shows I've ever done with college football. And I've done a lot of them over the last 15 years. So I've done it on radio shows and everything. Just last year we did college football and NFL. We had an NFL show and college football show. I just think the quality is just so much better this year. And next week with Romanelli, it'll even get even better on the college show. And then our NFL show is going to be Al McMorty and Jay Briggs. And then however they want to go about that as well with those two guys. So we will see how it goes. But thanks, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make it a winning day. And we'll see you tomorrow for our big college football Saturday. Of course, my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year.